What makes Vox videos so special? They use specific editing hacks to tell their stories. These aren't just normal editing effects. They go deeper, they impact the viewer deeper, and they trick the viewer to keep watching more and more and more. But not all of us have a team of over 50 people making our videos. So I've boiled down their most used and most impactful editing hacks. I've recently applied these editing hacks to my YouTube videos, and I've seen my average views increase by over 500%. We'll be working in CapCut today, but you can apply these hacks to any editing software. Vox screen recordings allow the viewer to feel part of the story and discovery. They keep dry screen recordings visually dynamic by using a hack called layered textures. They use three main ones. The first layer is scan lines. Head over to Google and find some incredible scan lines. You can also search on a site like Texture Labs to find specific monitor overlays that you can download in high res. Drag that scan line's texture onto your timeline above the screen recording. Make sure that the scan lines covers the entire image and set your blend mode to either color dodge or overlay. In this case, overlay works a lot better. Then go ahead and play with your opacity until you get the desired result. On layer 2, they apply an effect called chromatic aberration. Go over to your effects panel and search for chromatic. Find one called chromatic quirk and drag that over our entire timeline. When both of our sliders are set to 50, there's no chromatic aberration applied. With this effect, I find less is more, and just by applying 3 points, we've created that chromatic aberration shift. And the last effect is a simple vignette to guide your viewer's attention. Select both your layers and compound those layers. We can then go to adjust and apply a couple points of vignetting. Let's talk about Vox Text. They do something extremely unique, allowing the text to blend into the background and feel hand-drawn. When you have your text on your timeline, stay selected on that layer and go to animation. Then switch over to loop and find one called twist. Twist literally takes the edge off. The straight lines in our text are now filled with curves, much like someone was handwriting them. I scrub through my timeline using my arrow keys and find a perfect frame that I want. I then compound my clip and create a freeze frame. This allows us to have our twist applied without getting that constant change effect. I can then go ahead and delete the compound clip before and afterwards. On your freeze frame, go ahead and change your blend mode. This then adds texture to our text. Another thing we can do is go to the Adjust tab in the top right, scroll down and find Particles. Turn this up to 70%. You'll see now that we've introduced noise into our text, once again integrating it more into the background. A cool texture effect you can apply is Retro Cartoon. Simply by dragging it and dropping it onto our layer, you'll see that it's introduced a new texture. Play with your slider to impact how much of that texture shines through on the text. These are some Vox-inspired text animations that you can use. Wiping in, typewriter, retro typer, slide right, showing right, and slide down. When applying your text animation, make sure to change the default duration to about 2 seconds. This gives you a much smoother text animation. When you're looking to create a professional video that looks like it was made by a whole production team, it's important to get premium assets, the best of the best. And I spent a lot of time hunting and trying to find and equip you with those best possible tools. Storyblock came out on top for usable tools that we could use for this Vox-inspired video. From footage, to music, to images, to sound effects, and so much more, you can find all of that on Storyblock. I even made a whole collection of Vox-inspired assets that you can access in the description. Beyond Vox, you can make an entire video just from Storyblock, just like the one you're watching right now. What I also love is that it's a fixed monthly or annual cost, meaning that you don't have to pay per download like some other sites. It also means that you get unlimited downloads with your subscription, so you don't have to worry about working too hard or downloading too much. Amazing, because yeah, I downloaded a lot for this Vox video. If you're a creator or company looking to create premium videos, Storyblock is just right for you, and I have no doubt that you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. In addition, you can get 2 free months off when you sign up for an annual plan. So go to storyblock.com/MattLouis to take advantage of this limited time offer. Storyblock, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I have no doubt that some of my viewers are going to support this. Vox sometimes lowers their frame rates to around 12 frames per second in certain motion graphics and animations. It's not random. It's a deliberate stylistic and communicative choice. At 12 frames per second, animations feel handmade or editorial, closer to old-school frame-by-frame motion graphics or infographics. In your effects panel, search for FPS lag and go ahead and drag that effect over your whole timeline. At 0, the effect doesn't apply and we get that silky smooth motion. Once we start dragging it up, you'll see that we get that Vox-style shutter lag effect. Vox uses a very specific music style in a lot of their videos. This is categorized mainly by the marimba sound. The marimba sound works great because it doesn't conflict with our voice, allowing your explainer or your voiceover to be clearly heard and understood. This marimba style music has been used all over in educational videos, and we've been primed as the viewer to understand and perceive that valuable information is about to be shared when we hear it. On the topic of sounds though, Vox uses something called Foley sound design, or tactile sound. I isolated the sound design from one of their videos and just listened to the opening 3 seconds. When you're thinking about the exact sounds to apply, think about the sound you would hear in real life. Things like typing, clicking, camera shutter sounds, and highlighting. Here are a couple more key terms that you can search. For those of us on CapCut, it has a crazy amount of high-quality sound effects that we can use. Notably, some of my favorite directly from the CapCut library are the chalk drag, paper movement sound effects, film camera shutter, typewriter, and the pencil scratch. Apply your tactile sounds throughout your timeline wherever there's movement, animations, and motion graphics for a deeper, richer edit. Understanding the theory behind these Vox hacks is just one aspect. There's a whole practical and technical side to how to actually apply them. If you're feeling at all overwhelmed by that, you're in the right place because I've created CapCut Lab, which is a full CapCut course that teaches you everything you need to know about CapCut. It takes you from being a beginner to a master editor in the shortest amount of time possible. Vox animations generally apply a very specific type of motion. These are long, slow, and ultimately smooth. And they apply this type of motion to their highlight effects, text slides, picture zooms, and once again, most of the time that there's motion in their videos. I'm not going to touch on exactly how to make the highlight effect. If you want a full technical breakdown of how to edit like Vox, I have posted a video, go check it out. But let me show you what I mean by smooth animations. You can see here we have a linear animation as our highlight effect applies. I'm going to go ahead and open CapCut's keyframe animator by clicking Option K, and I'll select on my position X curve. I'm then going to go to the preset curves and select one called Rebound Out. We do have to do some manual adjusting, so I'm going to drag this first keyframe down a little bit, and then on my second keyframe, I'm going to drag this circle closer to the first one. If we play our timeline, you'll see that we've created an extremely smooth animation. It doesn't matter what you're animating, you'll generally use the Rebound Out curve and apply the same steps just like I showed you. This creates a fast in animation, and as your animation reaches its endpoint, things will slow down and be very smooth. And for your animations and motion graphics, there's another thing that allows them to feel as smooth as butter. This is called match cutting. You'll apply this when you're changing or shifting from one object to the next. Between two objects, go ahead and select them and create a compound clip. We're then going to find our exact cut point and select M on our keyboard. This is going to set a marker. Go about a second before that marker and add a transform keyframe, and then drag about a second after that marker and add another transform keyframe. On the second keyframe, we're going to change the scale. Now I'm going to open my keyframe animator and select the scale curve and change this curve to circular ease. We need to make sure that that curve falls exactly on that marker. If you need to adjust this curve point, simply select the keyframe and you can drag those circles to change that curve, but we landed it right in the center. When I play my timeline, you'll see that we have this extremely smooth zoom out animation. Another hack for smooth motion is cutting on motion. You'll see in this example of these graphs, when we cut on motion, it allows the cut to feel invisible, rather than waiting for the end of the motion to make a cut, which seems a lot more jarring. So apply this and cut on motion rather than when the motion is finished. These are the hacks that Vox uses to edit their videos. If you want more of the technical side, again, I made a video just for that. And if you want to dive deep into CapCut's knowledge and editing, go ahead and check out CapCut Lab.